Welcome back. First step you have to do to draw this after you have your reference selected. What you can do is you can go in with, so what you're going to do is you're going to select the pen tool. So first of all, let's say welcome back actually. So the first thing you can do is you're going to select your pen tool. What we'll notice is that Fluttershy here is, well, first of all, you have her chest right here, kind of. And what you notice is that it's kind of just a gradual curve. So what you're going to do is you're going to select, since it goes off the screen, I'm just going to start off the screen, might as well. So I'm just going to draw 2 points. Your pen tool is pretty simple. You just kind of click wherever you want it. I'm going to come up here about halfway, and I'm going to finish about here. I'm going to come back here. So you're basically just outlining. The path. So what you're going to do? Okay, so there's 2 things you can do to adjust it. The path selection tool, which will move the entire path. We don't want to do that right now. And then there's the direct selection tool, which will select only 1 point in the path. I'm going to make this kind of slim, just because it's kind of a slim line that I have here. So I'm going to kind of move this in here, and I'm just going to kind of adjust it how I want it. Okay, so now that I have what I want, I'm going to go through with the point conversion tool. And I'm just going to come in here, and I'm just going to kind of rotate it around so I get the curve that I like. So I kind of like that, and I'm just going to kind of duplicate it with the other one. So now that I have kind of a nice curve, I'm actually going to go up here, and I'm going to curve this one a little bit, just kind of give it a little bit of a curve here. There. Okay, so now that I have this, one of the things you should know is with this tool, which is the conversion point tool, if you click on it, it will actually get rid of it. So this is kind of a dangerous tool. However, one thing you'll notice if you just do this, let's say you only want to move this side, well, you'll okay. So let's go to our direct selection tool. Let's say you want to move this. Well, these two are kind of stuck together. So what you're going to want to do, I don't know what the actual term for this is, but what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to break it. So basically, if you go in and you just move this 1 point, now these 2 points are actually separate of each other, which works out nice. So you can just kind of curve it like that. So now that these 2 are broken, you can kind of just go in here and change it. Okay. One of the things I'm going to notice is in the palette right here, you're going to go to your paths palette. So what you'll notice is that as soon as I clicked the pen tool, it created a work path. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come here and I'm going to double click the work path. And I'm going to name this Fluttershy. So I'm going to name it F for Fluttershy, and I'm just going to name it Body Right, because it's the right side of her body. Okay, and what you're going to do is to fill this in, is you're just going to go down here. Okay, so if I were to just go and fill this in here, it's going to fill in whatever color I had before. So this is just kind of a crappy red from something I was doing before. Edit, step backwards. Oh, if you mess up, don't use edit undo. Use edit, step backwards, and step forwards. That's just way better, just kind of first off. So what you're going to do is you're going to go here. And since I want Fluttershy's background, since I'm doing the outline of her, I just want to get the outline of her coat. So now that I have that, I can go in here and I can do the path fill tool, or fill button, I don't remember. And I can just fill that in. And I'm just going to click off of the path. So now that I have that, first thing I can do is, first thing you'll notice is that by hitting that button, I have filled that path. So this is basically my first line. Oh, and luckily I did this. I actually messed up. So I'm going to do an edit step backwards. First thing you'll notice is is because of the reference. The reference should either be on the background or on the lowest layer. So you're going to want to make a new layer. I'm going to name this F body, which is short for Fluttershy body. You just double click the title. Fluttershy body. Okay. Now that I have that made, I can go into paths, fill this. Okay. That's pretty simple. Now let's say, okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom out, and I'm going to work on her jaw next. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to create a new path, I'm going to name this path F jaw, because it's her jaw. I named that wrong, but oh well, spelled it wrong, I don't care. Now I'm going to stay on this layer, and I'm just going to go, since we're on a new path, I'm going to use my pen tool, and I'm just going to start here, and I'm just going to curve it around here, and then I'm just going to go around here. So I'm basically just outlining this, basically. And I'm just going to go back here. So now what you'll notice is you have this kind of jaggedy check mark thing, but you just go through, make sure the points are where you like them, and you can just kind of work with it. Together, you use both points to kind of... Now note, this method may be easy, it takes time. Like, you can draw perfectly straight lines, but it takes a while. So that's kind of the downfall. And you basically just do that. I'm just going to kind of keep that right there. Okay. Oh, one thing. Okay, so what you'll notice is that we had, I forgot to put a checkpoint here. You can use an add anchor point tool, and that will add an anchor point here. Now, every time you do an add anchor point, it automatically adds these bars that you can move it with. Well, you can just simply go in with your conversion point tool, click it, and it will go away. And now that we have this, that looks like kind of a good job. It's just, I'm just basically doing a rough sketch, so it doesn't matter if it's perfect right now. For yours, you're probably going to want to take your time and do your best, obviously, because it's your pride and joy. So you can just do fill, and what you'll notice is that I did that. And you're going to want to, you can actually go through and do like the entire left side of, or the entire left side of her face in one thing. I just did it in two separate parts just for the demonstration. Okay, so let's say I want to go back and I want to change this one because it's no longer what I want. And instead of, because you can only do edit step backwards so many times. So if you didn't create a new path, you're kind of screwed. I hate to say it. But if you did, what you can do is you can go into your paths, select this path. So I'm going to do select F body, and I'm going to do I'm going to go through and I'm just going to select this path, and I'm going to go to my my conversion point tool. I'm going to select this, and I'm just going to go through, and let's say I want this to be a little bit wider, and let's say I want this side to be a little bit thinner. So I'm just going to do fill. And what you'll notice is that even though I moved it here, this part's still here. So what you can do is you can go, I'm going to zoom out. What you can do is you can go through and you can just use your eraser tool and basically just get rid of it. Oh, also to make sure you erase it well enough, you want to make sure that your hardness is up to 100%, your opacity is up to 100%, and your flow is up to 100%. And you can basically just go in here and just erase it. Now, don't worry if you erase another part of the line, as long as that's part of another path, because you can just go in here and do that. Pretty easy to fix. You just go there, and that is how. Okay, one more thing I'm going to do, and that basically is. So let's say we have gone through and we've done her entire head. Well, you're going to want to do another. You're going to want to do another color for her hair. So what you can do is you can just come in here and do a new layer. And we're going to name this F. We're going to name it F hair for Fluttershy hair. And you're just going to come in here and we're just going to go fill. We're just going to kind of just loop around. We're just going to go right here. And what that's going to do is it's going to create some ugly rectangle, but we can just kind of go through and basically just change it to our needs. It's just kind of a rough sketch to prove the point. There. So now that we have that, all we have to do is go through and basically click here. So click the color palette. I think that's what it's called. Actually, this is the color palette. And you basically just go in here and select the hair, the color of the hair. And now what you can do is you can go in here and you can go into your layers, and you can basically just go into, sorry, I apologize, paths, and you can just fill it. And what you're going to notice is that it's two separate colors. And let's say that this color is above there, and it kind of creates a problem here. What you're going to do, since they're in separate layers, is just drop it down. And then what that's going to do is basically just fix that. And this is what we have, so I basically just drew that. I'm going to actually fill, I'm actually going to do a new layer, edit, cancel, edit, fill, black. just to kind of show you. That's what I just created using those paths. Okay, I'm going to stop this right here so each one of my tutorials doesn't get very lengthy. Okay, so stay tuned for the next one. Again, if you have any questions, comments, look it up in a forum or feel free to ask a question here. I'll do my best to answer them. If I don't get back to you, then I apologize. I just want to say thank you, have a good day, stay tuned for my next tutorial.